Hello and a warm welcome to you. This is a video for the Seiko Kinetic Arctura 5m42-OE39, and this watch has been in my possession for over a year, and I thought I'd do a little video for it. It's not ever been worn, and it does come with, I'll show you now, the Seiko Kinetic box, the velvet finish, a set of instructions papers which I don't believe have ever been out, but you can find those dead easy on the Seiko website, a Seiko Kinetic Arctura tag. It's missing its front perspex, but pretty much complete, and the outer carton, and I believe probably the original bit of bubble wrap that it was supplied in. So if you do some digging around on the history, you'll find the date of manufacture, but this one I believe has never been worn, so it's pretty much immaculate. I've been over it with my eyeglass and I can't see any signs of wear. It still has the original sticker on the case back, cased in Malaysia it says, and if I just have a look to see what, I'll read you what it says on the back. Stainless steel case, 5m42 OE39 B5, movement Japan, water resistant 10 bar, cased in Malaysia, and that sticker has never been peeled off. Absolutely mint. So the bracelet's quite interesting on these. It has a metal endoskeleton, and the rubber strap needs to be cut to the holes that are here running round, and you chop your hole where you want it and reposition the buckle and the bracelet, which is milled and has a very positive shut to it, clip. Now it's quite stiff because it's never been used, but that's mint. There is micro adjust on it, which is very small. I think we're looking at about a micro adjust, the minute proportions of maybe 1.5–2 millimeters between there, but once this is cut there's no going back. So very unusual to find one that's not been cut and worn, and the case is exhibiting, as you can see, practically no marks at all. The brushing on the watch head is beautiful, and the screw heads are in tip-top condition. It will need a new capacitor if I give it a shake, because obviously the kinetic movement requires movement to spin the rotor, which then charges the capacitor. And these capacitors last about 7 years, and I think on this model it's not the longest of time. It's about 7 days, maybe a month from fully charged, but the new capacitors, the MT920, generally will give it 6 months of power supply if it uses one of those. But I've not had the back off this one, because the back doesn't come off. You actually access it through the screw heads at the front. The front of the watch comes off, exposing the dial, and that's the tricky bit. A watch in this sort of condition, I do not want to bend the hands or muck about with this, so that's why I've not taken it apart. I have done one before, but it was a much lower grade watch. It didn't have the credentials of this one. So as we can see, this second hand is ticking, but it's double ticking, which is the end of battery life. It does go into ordinary mode for a bit, but it runs down pretty quick. So the capacitor's stuffed. It's it must be 15 years old minimum, I would have thought. It does have the power reserve button there. It does have nice loom with loom pips around the outside, and a date window which is quite small. Again, the distance from the lug to lug is getting on actually. Let's have a look. I would imagine it's got to be about 50. If we go from there to there, just being careful with this, 52 to where the strap would start to articulate down. So it's quite a wide watch. I wouldn't imagine you want wrists much smaller than 17 centimeters to wear this watch. It's not very thick. But really this is just one for the collectors who are going to just keep it as a shelf queen. I'm not going to take this apart and put a capacitor in it. We can see that it runs. I'll do that again. So the mechanism is fine, it just requires a new capacitor fitting. They're about 15 quid. If you've got the equipment to be able to replace the capacitor with the dial out, then press on. So that's essentially about it. We've got the full kit, a beautiful watch, and one for the collectors really. I think that's about it. I can't waffle on about this much more. Utterly boring if you're not a Arctura fan. The guy on the internet, the Naked Watchmaker, that's spelled Nekid or double KID, he shows a video on how to change the capacitor, and he gives it a service and full strip down. But not for me. I'm not going to touch it. It's too pristine to do, because obviously the back is fixed and the access to the watch is through removing the screws and popping off the watch head itself, the watch front. But yeah, she's nice. The date spins. At the moment it only lasts around about 20 minutes on the capacitor, and those watch hands adjust nice and smoothly, and that mechanism's perfect. So it's a real oddity, this one. Never been sized and is in mint condition. Alright, if you're still awake, thanks for staying with this video. It really is just for the next buyer. Custodian maybe would be the appropriate term, who wants to see this watch in all its glory with a bit of history to it. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.